I say I don't know what he's thinking, but I sure know what he's saying and doing. The lengths to which he will go to avoid telling us the truth about the enemy is becoming comical. It's certainly embarrassing. For example, he will never forget about the word jihadist. He'll never use that. But he refuses to use the word Islamist, which is used throughout the Muslim world. It's used by journalists, by authors, on the street, in the parliament, everywhere in Egypt. It's used in Lebanon. It's used everywhere by Muslims. And yet Obama won't touch it because he refuses to use any words that might imply a connection between radical Islam and terrorism, which, as anybody who's over the age of 9 knows, is the single greatest cause of terror in the world today. In the end, it's embarrassing.
The investigative project on terrorism, another data collection, data gathering center on Islamists, though, is accusing the Obama administration of allowing scores of known radical Islamists to make hundreds of visits to the White House. It cites court documents and other records to identify many visitors belonging to groups serving as fronts for the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, and other Islamic militant organizations. We reached out to the White House for a reaction on that, but have not heard back.
America's support of democracy in Egypt means we're now supporting a political group that has promised a referendum on the peace treaty with Israel and a legal system founded on Sharia law.
F-16s and 200 Abrams tanks. Why would the U.S. be giving the new Morsi administration our best weapons to fight wars? Well,
explain to me where Egypt is threatened. Egypt is not threatened by Saudi Arabia. Egypt is not threatened by Iran. Egypt is not threatened by Russia, China, the United States. What conceivable reason would they have for these jets other than to do something to protect themselves theoretically against Israel or to help Iran in some kind of action against Israel? We're going to give lethal weapons to someone who believes that the people in Israel are descendants of apes and pigs.
By the way, these F-16s aren't the knockoffs we give people, countries like Pakistan. They were evidently the cutting-edge F-16s that our own pilots used, full of everything that we would get here in the U.S.
And that particular jet right there was just taking off from Fort Worth yesterday, bound for Egypt. Vulcan cannon on it. Should we be giving it to the Muslim Brotherhood?
I think the Egyptians would come to us and negotiate with us and say, what kind of behavior would we have to have? And I would say to them, maybe you should protect our embassy. Maybe you shouldn't let hordes of people jump on top of our embassy and burn our flag and chant that to America. Within the last year, Morsi was seen at a prayer meeting with a radical sheikh who was saying death to Israel and death to Israel supporters. Also,
إما الصهاينة وما يريدون وإما الحرب. هذا ما يعرفه هؤلاء المحتلين لأرض فلسطين المعتدين على الفلسطينيين، هؤلاء مصاصي الدماء مشعلي الحروب أحفاد القردة والخنازير.
So within the last year, Egypt arrested 16 Americans, held them in the country, threatened not to let them leave the country.